take me out to Detroit City. All right, Detroit Belle Isle, another street circuit. This one was rough for me. I got ourselves a 120 647. Fast guys are going to be doing 17s, low 17s, probably some 16s. And I'm a little worried that the P2s are going to be quicker than me, because that 120s are really pushing for me. We'll see how we do in the races. Almost decided to do Sebring this week for ESS, but this is the endurance race, and we'll be doing Sebring next week for IMSA, because we've already done Road America the other week, and that's where ESS is next week. So to have a video where this is the order that we're doing them in. It's rough. There's a lot of speed for me to get here. It's the back half or quarter of the track. There's a little windy section, and I talk about it in the guided portion. I'm really slow at. It's pretty bumpy. I'm not sure how great the setup is, but I've included it anyway. If you guys, it's probably pretty easy to find a better one, but this is what I was able to come up with. So without further chitter chatter, let's show you our lap and how we did.
The lap time was at 121.7. Sector 3 time is fast. Sector 2 time is good. That lap time was 120.6.
All right, Detroit Belle Isle with our BMW M Hybrid V8. We got ourselves a 120 647. There's a lot of room for improvement, but that's what I was able to do with all the practice I've done. Let's go through how we did it. Coming through the last turn here, and we've got a decent run up. The last section is where I have the most trouble. I'm gonna brake around the 300 marker here, and just kind of we're gonna hit the brakes hard, and we're just gonna kind of coast through a lot of this section here. We're just light on the brakes, and then just a little bit of gas there, and then come around this corner. I guess I tap the brakes and just kind of slowly feed the gas back in here. You can even go a little bit later on when you start applying the throttle. Trying to use as much of this little bit of camber here as we can. I found that in some other subsequent runs that maybe being a little bit later on the throttle is useful, safer. I had to lift a little bit there just to avoid hitting the wall. And then this is just, flat out until we get here. Our next breaker is going to be the 400 marker, a little bit before it even. And we're just heavy on the brakes. Got to be careful the first couple laps, because if you hit it too hard, you're gonna either spin, most likely spin, or just end up off here, which you don't want to do. So yeah, we're just gonna start to trail brake through this corner, slowly shift down to first is kind of what I end up doing. Trying for second, but usually I end up going all the way down to first. And then just bring our gas back on as we come out. I don't have a real set brake marker here. Just kind of by feel and practice. It ends up being, let's see here. Yeah. Not a great spot. Kind of where this billboard is, maybe a little bit after that by car length of 3. But yeah, and then we're gonna brake, trail brake through here. I'm getting down to second. And back on the throttle. Here, I kind of use, there's the angle on this barrier changes, and that's kind of what I use for my braking marker here. Gonna kind of hold the pressure and then bring it off. Try not to hit this curb too much here, because it's gonna unsettle the car pretty badly if you take too much of it. And back on the full throttle. The end of these signs here, maybe a little bit after, is kind of the next brake point that we use. And it's just a little bit trying to be smooth here. This is such a bumpy track, it's hard to be smooth. And yeah, just slowly use a little bit of pressure to steer the car in. Coast a little bit and then back to full throttle as we get out. And this is just flat out here. The shortest path is, a little bit to the right here. It is bumpy on this side where it's a little less bumpy on the left. But yeah, this is just flat out. Then the next brake marker is going to be at our 400 here, and we're just going to kind of try and make this as straight a line as possible through this section here. Pretty heavy on the brakes because we're going fast. And then just kind of ease out and turn in and dropping down to second, sometimes first if I over slow the car or need that extra turn in. Bring the throttle back up, and then our next braking point is going to be kind of where this reaches its kind of furthest most out, if that makes sense, right here. But yeah, we're just hitting the brakes, and this whole section here is kind of where I'm the slowest, and you've got the opportunity to be way faster than me, because this is I'm not the best at this, but we're gonna go through how I do it. We're just gonna kind of hit the brakes and then kind of coast a little bit, just tiny bit of pressure, and then bring the throttle back up. And then we're gonna lift a bit for this next one. Just kind of using both feet. Just you can see there that I'm just kind of putting a little bit of brake pressure on when I feel like I need a little bit more grip on the front. Bring the throttle back a little bit here, and bring it back down. Bring it in, throttle, brake. It's a lot of back and forth there. And again, like I said, this is the part that I struggle with the most. But yeah, we're gonna bring the throttle back and then brake so we can set up this next final bit here, and then kind of coast through, bring back a little bit of throttle. And there is kind of like this little go back. There's like a little dip in the pavement here. It kind of helps grip up the car a little bit, I found. But yeah, then it's just full throttle through this next section here to the 300, and we're braking hard. We're gonna kind of let off and trail brake through, and we're back on the throttle. And here we're just gonna lift a little bit. Try and carry as much speed as we can through this next section. Can be pretty fast. Back on the throttle, and then this is rest of it's just flat out. And we got ourselves a 120/647. So yeah, there you have it. That was the best I was able to manage, and I wish it could be better, but I spent about 4 or 5 hours practicing this, trying to get a good time, and this was what I was able to come up with. Hopefully it's at least a jumping off point for some of you out there. But yeah, we'll hopefully be back next week with Sebring. Hopefully be able to get a better time. I'll be practicing for the next couple weeks. I think I'm probably going to do 1 or 2 of these Detroit races and then move on to some other stuff. If you liked the video, thumbs up. If you didn't, I really get it this week, thumbs down. And yeah, head on over to twitch.tv/thepiltdownman if you want to watch along with our races live. And we'll see you next time. Bye bye.